Hello, Periscope. Hello, M-Town L Boogie. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. This time of day. Hello, Periscope. Anybody out there? Hello, thanks for joining. NH Tatum? Is that how you pronounce that? Thanks for joining. I'm going to turn this around. Never tried it horizontal like this before. Oh, uh-oh. Sorry, guys. Hello, hello, hello. I'm trying out some different times that I want to do my Periscope for the month of May. So we're going to try it a few different times. Actually, I think I'm going to turn it this way. That may be a little bit better. Hello, hello, hello. It is Monday, May 2nd already. So we're in the second month of the second quarter, which means there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity to start anew or do some course correction or keep doing those great things that are working in your business, your career, your professional life, whatever it is that you have going on. So, good afternoon. I'm sure some people will be dropping in, but I am starting out my month-long challenge to myself, okay, to be on Periscope on a daily basis. So I'm going to be trying out some different times. This is in the middle of the afternoon. I may try some in the evening. So, sometimes you have to test some things out, right, to make sure that you get it right along the way. So you do perfection along the way, not wait for things to be perfect and then start. So let me introduce myself for those who will be dropping in, and to the replayers that's going to see the replay. Can we still see the replay? I know Catch Me is leaving in a couple of days. So if you catch the replay before it's gone in the next 24 hours, then you'll be able to join in and tap with hearts, and you can be able to share with your own audience. So let me introduce myself. My name is Delmar Johnson. I am the president of Delmar Johnson Enterprise, and I am your chief HR brain with HR Brain for Hire. So a little backdrop. The month of May, I said I was going to challenge myself to be on here daily because I am one of those periscopers where, I'm here a lot of times, but sometimes I do take a break because there's other platforms for us to connect with, right? On Facebook, on Twitter, even on LinkedIn. So there's other places for us to connect, but I know Periscope is live streaming in live time. So a lot of people like that. Hey, Sabria, Bits and Bling. So I'm trying out different times to see which times would be the best time for people to hop on and just get one of my HR quick tips. They're going to be HR quick tips because I'm one of those kind of periscopers. I don't like to be on, for a long time because people are busy, and I want to give them what they may be asking for and what they need, and we're going to keep it moving. Lucrative is that Lucrative Success One. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming into the room. Thank you, Sabria, for my great hearts. I appreciate that. So those of you who are just joining in at this moment, again, my name is Delmar Johnson. I'm president of Delmar Johnson Enterprise, and I am, again, your chief HR brain with HR Brain for Hire. So today's quick tip, HR quick tip, is I have a lot of startups, okay, a lot of entrepreneurs that ask me pretty much some of the same questions over and over. And I thought this month would be a good way to address not only startups, but also those who are already, been in business for a while, may already have some employees. And then those small business owners who are have set a solid foundation and still and are beginning to grow and everything. So no matter if you're a startup or if you're even an enterprise, because enterprises have questions too, don't they? Even if they've been in business for a long time. Hey, Veronique. Girl, I'm just testing out some times of when I want to do my periscopes on a regular basis this month. So let's get to it. So I titled this, Before You Hire Anybody, Get Clear. So what do I mean by that? One of the number one questions that I'm asked a lot of times by startups and small business owners is how where do I even start, Delmar? How do I even think about hiring somebody? How do I even, what do I need to do in order to make sure I get things done? And as I began to gain clients, as I began to grow, as I began to have, people call, people reaching out to me and wanting my services versus me having to chase them down. So I want to start at the very beginning. Thanks for the pink hearts. Ooh, that's on brand. Pink. So I think before you even think about hiring anybody as a startup or small business owner, I believe you should get clear. And what do I mean by getting clear from an HR perspective? Okay. I mean, make sure. And for those of you all who have probably never been on my Periscope before, I always have notes. I always say when you get over 40, sometimes you have to have some notes and can't think of everything offhand, right? So, but one thing, the thing that I really think entrepreneurs and small business owners should get clear on from the beginning before they even think about hiring. And yes, you may be overwhelmed. You may be getting overwhelmed. You may be gaining those clients. But if you have nothing written down for a person to follow or understand what your expectations are, what your standards are for your business, then you really shouldn't be hiring anybody yet. Okay. So what I mean by that, I mean, establish some standard operating procedures for yourself. You don't have to already have employees. You don't always, you don't have to have a bunch of clients already just to be able to create your standard operating procedures, because you're actually establishing it for your business, whether you have a lot of clients trying to knock down your door or whether you have no employees, right? So, or no interns, no contracts, you don't have any support team yet. So you don't have to have those things in place in order to get started and to be clear before you even get to that point. So in your standard operating procedures, I do whiteboard power hour sessions for people who may not need to do a whiteboard VIP day with me, but they want to do a power hour. And I'm even offering 15-minute free whiteboard power hour sessions, 15-minute sessions, just so you can get a taste of what I can help you do on those whiteboard calls. So I was on a whiteboard session. This was a power hour somebody paid for. Okay, my power hours are $100, but you get me for 60 minutes. Yes, great point. So we were talking about, and she's a smart, savvy entrepreneur already, but she was wanting to know, how does she even begin to create standards or systems in her business as she began to grow, and as she began to probably going to hire some of her first employees or some of her first contractors this year. And I told her, start with standard operating procedures. What do I mean by that? You can type it up on Word, all right? Get your Word document open on your computer and start identifying what it is that you want established as standards in your business. So we have a whole list of things that we do as entrepreneurs and small business owners, right? We have email marketing. We have social media management. We have we have telephone calls that we have to make. So there's a long list of things that you can actually create standards and standard operating procedures out of. So my suggestion to her at that time was, why don't you write down what your mission and goal is for your business? Okay. That can be one SOP. Okay, that's what I'm calling this, standard operating procedure. So one SOP could be that you identify your core values and your mission and vision statement on one page. Okay, each standard operating procedure can be just one page, one Word document. Okay, one page, one Word document. So you want to have your core values, your mission and vision on one of them. If you want to be able to identify what it is that you do with your social media management, you take another Word document, blank Word document, and complete that in step by step. Yes, your mission, vision, and core statements first on one standard operating procedure page. Okay. On your second one, you could do what your processes are for your social media management. And I'm just giving you examples, okay? Because, you know your business, right? You know what you're trying to do. Your social media management can be on one page. This is how I want my Hootsuite to be set up. This is how I want my posts to be set up. And some people may not even know what standard operating procedures are. So I'm kind of going fast, so I'm going to kind of slow down, because I know I talk fast when I get excited about what I like to talk about, which is HR. Okay. Yeah. Social media management. You want to identify that in your standard operating procedure. So imagine you've already hired somebody and you've already got this down. Well, when they pull out your social media standard operating procedure, then they're going to know that you want all your posts set up on Sundays. Okay, or maybe on Sundays to go out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, so you're going to give them the steps of what that look like. You may even supply them with the actual post that you won't post it, but that person that you've hired, whether it's a VA, an intern, a contractor, this is what you want posted on Sunday evenings. Okay, that'll go out every day, Monday through Friday on your social media platforms. That's just an example of what I'm talking about, creating your standard operating procedure. So you want to put down what that process is for you for social media management. Maybe you send out an email marketing. You do email marketing, you send out an email to your contacts and, everybody that's in your database, right? Well, you have a process of how you go about doing that, right? Maybe you do it once a week. Maybe you send out 2 letters a week. You want to be able to identify what those steps are to send that email out, right? Okay. What else can you have on there? You can also, if you're, say for instance, you're hiring a VA, that person has probably access to your, to your passwords, to your sign-ons and everything, to the systems that you use that they need to get on to make sure they post those things, right? So you want to have a standard operating procedure and you don't necessarily have to put this in your standard operating procedure notebook, but if they're going to have access to it, you may have an online notebook, even if you don't have a physical notebook of your standard operating procedures. Okay. So, and if anybody have any questions, just throw them in on the comments. Okay. I appreciate you being here and I appreciate your hearts. So you're going to have a list of what your sign-ons and your logins are that person is going to have privy to. All right. What else can you do standard operating procedures on? There's a long list of things I'm sure you have. Maybe they have access to how you set up any kind of process to do it, how you intake a client. Okay, that's another standard operating procedure you could have. How do you intake a client? What is the process that you go through to secure that client? Okay, someone calls in, a potential client calls you. Hello, my name is such and such, and I was referred to your office, and this is what I'm looking for. Do they have a document that they can document what it is that customer or potential client has called into your to the phone line that you've given them? Okay, to be able to carry that client through your process of securing them, at least for a direct call with the owner, or if they're just ready to just go ahead and go forward, then you understand, or that person that'll be helping you will understand how that process looks. So if you have a client intake, again, these are just some examples of how you can create standard operating procedures for your business. I know I'm going kind of fast today, but like I said, I get excited when I'm talking about HR and try to help you guys, really prepare yourself to be and to grow into what I call an employer of choice. Lady E4 Eva, I've seen you before. Okay. Hi, how are you? Thanks for inviting your followers. I'm just talking about today. Actually, this is the first day of my personal challenge to myself to be on here daily to give you HR quick tips and answer some questions that you may have about your business, whether you are a startup, a small business, or an enterprise. And the enterprise questions are going to really get good when we get to those, because some people are out of compliance. Hey, sis, I'm Erica from Houston. Oh, hi. How are you? Thanks for letting me know. Anybody have any questions while we're still on here? Like I say, these are HR quick tips, so I won't be holding you long during these times, but I just want to get you to thinking about, before you even begin to hire someone, how you need to have your own processes in place before you do. So when that person does come on to help you with your dream and vision, then you're able to provide them with some great direction and some great standards and expectations that they should know about you and your business, about what kind of brand you're building, what your dream and visions are. Anybody have any questions? This is the time to get me. Nobody has any questions? Oh, wow. I thank you all for coming on, though, for my first HR quick tip. Thank you for sharing, Veronique. Veronique, you have any questions? You tend to always put good questions out there, not only for yourself, but for those who may be watching and our replayers. Okay. All right. Nobody has questions on this first day. That's all right, because we have another 30 days with each other. So that's quite all right. May is a very long month. Now, I will tell you, Monday through Friday is when I'm going to be on. Saturday and Sundays, I may mix it up and do more empowerment periscopes during the weekend versus business. But my goal is to be here daily. Should you hire college students? College students, and my internet is acting up. I'm sorry. Okay, should you hire college students? Yes, in the form of interns. Is that what you're asking? In the form of interns, yes. And especially if they're still a college student, I would test them out or put them through the test of being an intern first before actually hiring them on as an employee, because you may not be at the point where you need employees, and that's quite all right. But college students are always looking for great internships. Hey, sister girl. Hey, sure. Congratulations on your Tri-State Defender Award this weekend. Isn't that Shura Peaks? Yeah, I thought that was you. Congratulations. So yes, you should hire college students in the form of interns. Makes sense? I believe that was Erica that asked me that from Houston. But even in hiring interns, and we're going to get into that. Like I said, we're going to get into that. I'm going to be on here answering at least one question per day, or a topic that I'm asked about a lot. Yes, thanks. Yes, you're doing hire interns, hire college students as interns. Yes. And also there's a process for that as well. Documentation that you want to have in place. What suggestions can you give for someone who wants to hire interns? I didn't see the last part of that, Veronique, but don't want to do what? What was the last part of that? What would I suggest about hiring interns for someone, and then it kind of cut off? I suggest anybody that's hiring interns, while I'm thinking about it, anybody that's hiring interns, you want to vet your interns too. We'll talk about that. But don't have the money to pay them and on a tight budget. Okay, I got you. Yes, and actually that's usually the best way to start out when you're wanting to get support, right? And start getting some of those things off of your plate is through intern. Now, a lot of people think that, oh yeah, I'm gonna get an intern, that's free labor. Well, free is relative. Free is relative, because even as an unpaid intern, there are some particular rules that you want to follow to make sure that you're not getting in trouble with the IRS. All about Uncle IRS. Okay. So there are some particular rules that you want to follow even when they're unpaid. But the reason why I say free is relative, because even in an unpaid intern, you want to be able to offer them some kind of incentives as well of being an intern. And those incentives don't have to cost you a lot of money either. Some incentives don't cost you any money. And we're going to get into some of those questions too over the next 30 days. So yes, you can definitely have interns classified as unpaid, but there are some things that you would need to follow in order that you stay in compliance. I'll give you this little tidbit, and I'm going to close this quick. Listen, a quick tip that turns out to be 30 minutes. One thing, I'm always reading. Do you offer coaching on how to hire interns? I offer consulting on how to hire interns, most definitely. Offer consulting on how to hire interns. I actually can take you through the whole process to take the stress and pain out of your own life for doing that. That's one of the biggest things I'm asked about is interns. How do you get volunteer help? Now, volunteers are interesting because volunteers are usually used better in nonprofits. So if you have a nonprofit, volunteers are definitely a way that you can begin to get support. And even with volunteers, you want to have processes in place. Even with the volunteers, you want to have a volunteer manual in place so they understand who you are as a business owner and what their responsibilities or expectations that you have for them as a volunteer. So even with volunteers, you need documents in place. And you need processes in place. But if you are a nonprofit, volunteers are a great way to begin a support team. You're a volunteer for a for-profit. Thank you, Veronique. Yeah, HRBrainForHire.com is where you can find me. Volunteers for for-profit companies are called interns. Yes, that's what I call it. Volunteers for for-profit corporations are called interns. Volunteers are really not supposed to be used in for-profit companies as your support team. So that's why I say volunteers in a for-profit, you can think of them as interns. They should be categorized as interns as well. Any other questions before we pop off? Before we jump off? Do you need contract for volunteers? Not in the sense of like an independent contract, but there's nothing wrong with having like a volunteer just signing up saying, yes, I'm volunteering for this company. And these are the hours that I can work and everything. I used to volunteer a lot. I need to find me a good organization to volunteer with right now. I used to volunteer with Girls Inc. and Dress Dress for Success. And I actually, when I was at Dress for Success, I actually created a volunteer manual for the location that I was at. And that volunteer manual really breaks down what your expectations are for them. So you don't necessarily need a volunteer contract, but I'm from human resources, so it's all about document. So yes, a non-disclosure agreement would be great. A non-disclosure agreement would be great for volunteer. Again, you may have just a profile of what the volunteer is and have them sign off on it. Yes, I agree to volunteer for you for this, for this period of time. Say they're going to, volunteer for 6 months, and they may come in, and they may volunteer 1 hour a week. So that is a document that you can draw up for them, for everybody to be on the same page, and then also have a non-disclosure non-disclosure agreement would be great. And I think that's great for whether you're hiring an intern, a contractor, or especially an intern or a contractor, because they have privy to things. With an employee, that's another realm of documentation, and I'm going to eventually get to that before the month of May is out. So I hope that has helped you as I get started on my daily month of May HR quick tips. Anybody have a last question, and we're going to jump off here. Thank you for asking. I hope that helped you, Erica, and I believe Veronique asked a question as well. Yes, great info. Thanks. You're welcome. So you can meet me here every day the month of May. Yes, contact me. And thank you, Veronique. I said, Delmar, please tell people where they can find you. You can find me at hrbrainforhire.com. I'm on social media at hrbrainforhire. The 4 is spelled out FOR, not the number 4. HR Brain for Hire at HR Brain for Hire on Periscope and Twitter, and also on Facebook. Please join me there. Also, I invite you to join into my community that I'm building. It's called Decide, Shift, and Elevate. Because in our businesses, we have to make decisions that are going to position us where we are shifting. And shifting takes us through the process to where we can elevate, whether it's in our professional life, our career, or as entrepreneur and small business owners. So in Decide, Shift, and Elevate, we're making forward motion to greater in our life, career, and business. You can find that on Facebook at Decide, Shift, and Elevate. Please make a request to join, and I would love to have you in the group. We are beginning to grow, and I'm happy about that. We're going to really be digging into some things. And my goal is to actually put my replay into the group as well. So I know Catch Me is gone now or is about to leave. So I have to figure out if my phone caught this so I can download it into the group. So join me over at Decide, Shift, and Elevate as we begin to grow so we can pour into each other and connect with each other, build collaborations and partnerships along the way. So again, Decide, Shift, and Elevate on Facebook. Again, you can catch me at hrbrainforhire.com. There's some great goodies out there for you to grow. Also, actually, I have something else for you. Hey, how about that? A free download at HR Brain for Hire, the do's and don'ts of attracting and hiring a great team. So go down there, go on my page at hrbrainforhire.com. is right in the heading, free white paper, download that. Also sign up, and we can connect there as well. So I have all kind of good things going on for you. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I will be back tomorrow. Again, I'm testing out the times I'm going to be on here. I'm going to try to be on here in the daytime, but I may do some in the evening too. So kind of mix it up a little bit, but I am going to be here daily for the month of May. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on tomorrow. Bye-bye.